different things for us. Oh, thank you. We're being recorded. And so here it is, Genesis 24:45. This is the phrase in this translation. It says, I had not yet finished speaking to my heart. And behold, there was Rebekah going out. Her jug was on her shoulder, and she went down to the spring and drew water. And the thing that caught my attention was this. The servant says, I hadn't yet finished speaking to my heart. Now, I don't know if you talk that way. I don't talk that way. But I thought, what a beautiful picture of what it is to have a relationship with Jesus, right? A relationship with Jesus where I'm talking to him, and I'm talking to him from my heart, and I'm expressing myself from my heart. The heart is kind of the heart of the matter, right? And in this story, it was a beautiful way that this translation put it. I had not yet finished speaking to my heart, and behold, there was Rebekah. So just get this picture, right? So here I am, I'm a follower of Jesus. I'm talking to God. I'm saying, my master sent me out. I'm trying to find a wife for my master's daughter, and I'm trying to settle my heart. I'm trying to get my head right. I'm trying to find this person. And it's like God and I are talking back and forth, and I'm asking him for this sign and doing, and I'm trying to talk to my heart. Isn't that a beautiful picture? I'm trying to talk to my heart. I'm trying to speak this thing to settle my heart, to get back in. And all of a sudden, God sends the blessing, right? There comes the girl. Here she comes. She's coming, bringing water, and she's drawing water. The thing I liked about it was when I'm living a life of someone who's loved, right? That's heart language. Like when I'm living the life of someone who's loved, that's me and my heart, and it's my heart with God's heart. And it's trying to catch my heart up to what he says about me, what he thinks about me, what he feels about me. And this passage really caught my attention. And I said, that's too beautiful to keep to myself. Genesis 24:45, I had not yet finished speaking to my heart, and behold, there was Rebekah going out. So as you get ready to start this new year, as you lead into a new year of club ministries, have you spoken to your heart? Have you opened your heart to Jesus? Have you opened your heart to God? Have you asked him what's his desire for your club? What's his desire for you as a person, as a follower of Jesus? Where are you at when it comes to your heart and speaking to your heart? And instead of talking to yourself, like we usually say in our modern times, what if you thought about it differently? What if you said, when did I speak to my heart last? When did I try to get God to settle my heart and to settle my mind and to help me understand these things? I thought it was a beautiful picture. So I leave that with you as we get started. Look it up, see what other translations say, see what other insight God might have for you as you live the loved life, as you live the life of someone who says, I am loved. I am loved by a God who loves me, who's always looking out for me, who opens doors for me, who helps me to find what I'm looking for, and who leads me. So that's my challenge for you as we get started. Let me pray for you. Our God and our Father, thank you so much for the ways that Scripture continues to surprise us. Scripture can continue to sharpen us, and Scripture can continue to convict us. Father, thank you for the times that we've been talking to you and we felt peace in our heart. Thank you for the times that we were talking to you and things didn't feel right, and you were helping to save us from a bad decision or a mistake that we were about to make. And thank you for the way that you don't only do that for us, but you also do that for us as we lead young people, and you do it for the young people that we're leading. And I pray that their hearts would be open, soft, sensitive, pliable, ready to hear your voice, ready to hear you speak to them. And I pray that all of us together, adults and kids, would be more and more amazed at what it means to say, I am loved. That my heart is connected with the heart of the Father, that my heart is connected to the one who loves me, and that when our hearts are in sync, you can communicate directly through us, to us, and tell us what you want for us to know and understand. So thank you for the way that you guided Abraham's servant. Thank you for the way that you guide us. Thank you for the way that you guide the young people that we serve. May you bless all the homes and families of Pathfinders and Adventures that we represent today. We pray this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Well, I do want to say thank you again to everyone who's on here. And as we get started, I'm going to take one moment just to check in here on something. So give me 10 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay.
Is that Carol with Pastor Stewart?
Yes, Carol Barnett is next to Pastor Stewart. She is our North representative.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have seen us if you did.
Mercy.
Yeah, when you little stinker, I could have sat at home.
Someone's in trouble. So let me keep the meeting moving. So first I will say this, it seems like there was some confusion. I've been listening. Here's the message we sent. The message was it will be in person only. That was December 15 or whatever, because we thought we'd be meeting in person. When we got back from the break, we started saying, what if some people are not attending because they're not ready to attend in person? And so we said, let's give them that option. So we opened that back up and we sent it out and gave everybody the option. And some people have gotten a message, I don't know where from, saying that live was canceled. It was not canceled. Live was still set. And the people that we had registered to come live, some of them chose to go remotely. So North and Central, which is today and tomorrow, those will be two options. We haven't decided about South Florida yet. At this point, we're still planning to do only in person. We'll see if that changes over the next week or so. So I just wanted to do that. Another housekeeping item is regarding Club of the Year credit. So there was a deadline to register for this event. If you registered for this event by the deadline, then you should have gotten the notice to come in person or the notice to come online. If you are online because someone shared the link with you or someone sent it to you not from the office, that means you didn't register before the deadline and you're welcome to attend. We're happy to have you here. You'll get all the information, you'll understand everything. But in terms of credit for Club of the Year, those who did register will be the only ones who get Club of the Year credit. So we do have the screen and we see all the different clubs that are here, all the different churches. So we will get that record and make sure that that's there. All right. So that's just the housekeeping side of things. Wanted to make sure that we went through that. And I also, as we jump in here a little bit, we did do something where if you, again, registered and went through all that, you saw on the website that there were links. There was a link to a video, which goes through a lot of those opening items. So if you didn't watch that video, we do encourage you to do that. That will help you get up to speed with that. And you can do that on your own time. We said, let's let our time together be more of a dialogue. So you'll notice that all of that was on the video. You'll also notice all of those slides were on a PowerPoint connection to the website. So if you want to share that content with your staff or you want to share it with other people, you're welcome to do that. And those are some resources to you on that website. So for most of our time together here, like I said, we wanted it to be a discussion. And this is where we wanted to have a discussion with Pathfinders and Adventures. At first, we thought separate because North Florida was a smaller group. We said, let's do it jointly. And so we're going to be doing this next section together instead of apart. So this is a part where we are asking for your input. So we do invite you to give your input. You can unmute your microphone. You can press the space bar on your computer and hold it down while you talk. And once you let go, you'll be muted again. We do thank you for those who did mute themselves already. You are Zoom experts by now, right? You're Zoom experts. So thank you for doing all that. But this is a part where we do want some interaction. We do want some discussion. And there are several questions. I'm going to go through them. Again, this was on the website. The link was there for all the questions. We did ask that you would process this a little bit in advance so that when we did get together, you would have something to share with us. So having said that, I'm going to go ahead and open up with the first question and look for who wants to share and give us input. So as you think about what happened in 2021 and 2022, the first question is, who has been your best supporter during this club year so far? And we're curious to know who has been your best supporter so far. Maybe it's somebody from your home, maybe it's somebody from the church, maybe it's another staff member, but we wanted to know some input on that one. Who would like to start us off? Yeah, go ahead. I see Jacksonville raised a hand. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, good afternoon. Happy Sabbath.
Good afternoon.
My staff is being my best supporter this year because we start on August and we was advertising and a lot of kids came to the club. Of course, COVID has been doing a lot on our club, but we're still standing and we're still doing meetings.
I'm glad that you are still standing there in Jacksonville Spanish, and I'm glad that you're still able to move forward. Very good. Thank you for sharing. And I'm glad that your staff, your club has been your best support. That's amazing. Someone else? Who's been your best support for this club year?
You want just for the club year, our best support during this period of time?
During 2021, during this last year.
My best supporter, number one, was my wife. And
Sister Brooks blushing right now?
well, she was my best supporter in all our activities, going to visit club and talking with club, talking with leaders. She has been giving me 100% support. She's number two. My best supporter was Jesus Christ. He's number one.
Nice.
And then she was number two in supporting me in ministry.
That's the only time Merlin is okay with being number two in your life, Calvin.
I was just about to say that. I'm so happy that the Almighty is number one, and I'm good for number two.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Good to
And
have both
ditto
of you.
that for Calvin and me in my ministry, and yourself and my committee.
Oh, thank you. Very good. Now Calvin's the one blushing.
Pastor Pedro was a good support, but the number two support was Merlin because she's my all in all, right?
I'll take number three.
Pastor,
Calvin. That's
Pastor
okay.
Stewart also, he support me. I call upon him and we discuss things and he encouraged me. Vice versa, we each encourage each other. So I'm thankful for you, Pastor Pedro and Pastor Stewart, along with my wife. You, three of you, there are other friends, but three of you I can rely on heavily.
Excellent. Thank you. I'll share number three spot with Stephen.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else like to share? You can just unmute your mic or you can raise your hand if you prefer. Okay. I'm going to jump to the next question. Maybe somebody will prefer to answer that one. What did you need but did not receive in 2021, 2022? I'm sorry, that's weird. It worded weird. It should be 2021. We're barely into 2022. But what did you need but not receive? Anybody have something that like say, what do you wish you would have had, but you haven't had it yet? You can just unmute and answer.
COVID gone.
Yeah, you needed that to be gone and it just didn't go, huh?
You got it.
Okay. I think that's a common desire for all of us, isn't it? Anyone else? Anyone want to share what you needed but didn't receive? Okay, let's go to the next question. And if you want to go back to any of these questions, feel free. What's that? A response?
What do we need that we didn't have, that I needed, I did not receive? Needed more support for Blaze Ministry training. We're going to talk about that. From Pathfinders and Adventurers, we need adults to encourage young people to come out and be a part of it. Jacksonville was there, they were ready to go. And another church from down south. So we're going to talk about that some more. You see, young people need adults like Samuel needed Eli to encourage him, to guide him toward his calling. And that's what young people need. They need our input. They needed input from directors and parents and pastors. So that's what I needed. And we're looking for that in 2022, March 4th and 5th. So, peace out.
All right, that's one way to get your advertisement in, right? Okay, thank you for sharing that, Stephen. Let's go to another question. What's been your biggest challenge so far in this club year that starts in 21 that ends in 22? So since August, when most of you started, what's been your biggest challenge? Anyone want to jump at that one? As you think about the years far, what have you had as your biggest challenge?
For me, the most challenge part was the YMMS, because that system is really, like you say,
Complex. It's very complex.
A
We can
challenge.
say.
Okay, very good.
I agree with her.
Could I have, you've got a second vote here from Carol. Could I have one of our secretaries call you and help you make it feel not so complex? That was for Jacksonville Spanish.
Yes.
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 A help
That'd be very
always
good.
would be good.
Okay, all right. Because we don't want you to feel stressed about it. We want you to feel like it's a powerful tool to help you. But thank you for telling us that that's not what you feel right now. So very good. Okay, I'm making a note and we'll get on that. Okay, someone else, what's been your biggest challenge in this club year so far? Yes, Adventures from Gainville. Lewis, if you unmute yourself, go ahead. We can't hear you. I think you're still muted.
There you go. Can you hear me?
There you go.
I'm calling you guys from Camp Colacqua right now. I'm in Camp Colacqua.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, they opened the zoo for us today, so we got a chance to see the lions.
Oh, very nice.
I just want to share first with the sister in Jacksonville that I'm happy to assist as well. We're close by, here in Gainesville. So I'm an IT guy, and I'm happy to assist any way possible to make the experience better for her on the website. I know it's a little bit challenging, but you can contact me. I'll be happy to assist. And
That's
regarding the question, Pastor, thank you. Regarding the question, we have some challenge in our club, especially in the staff. We got great instructors. They willing to step in assist and be ready for the classes. I shared this with Pastor Steven. We a little bit short in the staff. We don't have a secretary. We don't have a subdirector. My 5 years old is kind of being the subdirector right now, and my wife is assistant as well. And it's beautiful, for him to be involved, but it's been a challenge, but also a good learning experience. So we've been doing a little bit of secretary, a little bit, but at the same time, it's a challenge and opportunity for us to challenge the young kids. They to step in, and they think they're too young to be in the staff. No, it's never too young to be in the staff. I remember the pastor, the picture that you said with the 16-year-old that is a director in another church. That's inspiring. That's what I'll be trying to do here in Gainesville this year.
Wow. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing, Lewis. I like that. That's really good.
And Lewis, could you just share your what you do for a living? You said you could help. Could you just share that with us briefly?
Yeah. I'm a computer engineer for Kroger, supermarket. So I work from home remotely. So I'm happy to, anybody who needs help, I'll be happy to assist. The website is being a little bit picky, but there's a way to go around it, and it's actually a good tool for us as directors.
Very good. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate that. Anyone else? What's been your biggest challenge so far?
Something. So I'm with on the YMS, but my biggest thing is, in order to find out what time this meeting started, I had to go to the newsletter to find out what time the meeting was. I should be able to look on the website and see something that says the area council meeting starts at 4. But no, I have to either go to my email to go to the newsletter, or I have to go to the YMS to go to registration that then doesn't tell me what time it starts. It should not be that difficult. If somebody wants to go somewhere to find out what time it is, it should be boom, right there on the website. Personal opinion.
Is she telling the truth? I think she's telling the truth.
She is.
Yeah. Thank you, Pathfinders from Jacksonville. You get it. Hearty amen from them. Wow. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. It's not good to know because I'm excited that that's a problem, but it's good to know that that is a major problem and that's something for us to work on. Okay, excellent. Thank you for sharing. And Carol's so shy that I was wondering if I'd ever know what she really thought.
I
Thank
want
you,
to
Carol.
share.
Yes,
I would
Eartha.
like to share. Sorry, I'm walking. I came from maintenance. I'm taking my digest and walking late. So, but my biggest challenge, and I think it's everyone's biggest challenge, I would say for the last 2 years, was having to do Red Zone on Zoom. I'm very excited that right now we're planning to do it in person again. And I know that we had great participation, but I think we could have gotten more. And I think I'm excited and looking forward to everyone being excited about Red Zone coming together in person again. So although that was a challenge, it was a lot that we learned from it, and hopefully implement some of those things, lessons learned, into having an in-person Red Zone again. So I'm really pumped. I'm really excited about it as we're planning it, of course, to have it live. So hope everyone will be excited about that, and hopefully will ease some of the anxiety and some of the challenges that we faced the last 2 years.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it's definitely been a challenge to try to reimagine Red Zone. I know you've had to reimagine how you do club ministry in that sense. We're all kind of in the same boat. We've all been trying to reimagine and ask God, how do we minister to kids when we can't be present with kids? And what does that look like? Definitely a challenge. Very good. Anyone else on that question?
Yeah, Pastor Pedro, this is Lorraine. I would say for our club in the Shores, now known as Hope Springs, very similar to what Eartha was just saying, that our kids were starting to experience Zoom burnout. So not necessarily a reflection of the club, but because we have our children's ministry and we had adventurers online, it was becoming quite a lot for them. So as a result, what we tried to do this first half of the year, we're going to meet shortly and transition again back to Zoom, was give them a little time to themselves. And what that ended up looking like as far as the challenge, and we'll find it out when we get together, was we started off the first part of this year in a kind of a home study, if you will, adventurer club, where we had the parents take more of the lead and do the Pathfinder, the Adventure Awards with the children, etc. And then our goal is when we meet again in January this month to reconvene, see how well that went or did not go, just to give them a chance to get off of Zoom, but still work on their awards. And so that's what the parents were doing, or supposed to have been doing, this first part of the Adventure Pathfinder year. Now, the second part of the year, we're going to recommit to Zoom. Again, it was just to give them that space from that Zoom burnout. Yeah. But we were experiencing that as adults, and I know the kids were as well. So like was said, we just hope that, we're excited to kind of get things back in motion. We don't know how that's going to turn out, just yet, but we're slowly working on that process.
Yeah, it's still a mystery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great. And you know what? The leaders that I talk to, the leaders that I hear from have had to flex. Yeah, it's not just, hey, we're going to do Zoom. We're only going to do Zoom. We're always going to do Zoom. Some have used Zoom sparingly. Some use Zoom as a bridge and then went back to meeting in person. There've been a wide variety of what that looks like. And so for you guys to constantly be talking about what do we need to do? Where are our kids at? When do we need to give them a break? When are we going to come back to Zoom? When are we going to come back to in person? All those are the right conversations. So good job to our Hope Springs Shores group. Thank you for sharing that, Lorraine. Okay, Jose?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
It's been very challenging for my committee and myself because the activities and events that we do statewide have two things against us with COVID. First one is a lot of people because it's statewide. And second, money, because we usually go out of state for our biggest event. So that has been very, very frustrating. A lot of children have wanted to go out, but do it locally or talk to the area, see if you as a state director can do something, but at the local area, like one trip just for the north, another trip, but then that's a lot of things going to Tennessee 4 times, but we have hanging there and we're planning on still doing our activity this year, which probably I know we'll have some space to talk about that later. But that has been our biggest challenge, is that we have not been able to do what we really wanted to do with our varsity Pathfinders.
Yeah, it's not, I don't know that it's been easy for anybody. And yet amazingly, there are some clubs that were only out on Zoom or shut down for like a month and then they were on Zoom, or they only did Zoom for a couple months and they went back to in person. It's amazing to hear the different stories. And let's be honest, there are clubs that since March of 2020 haven't met, haven't done anything. They've disappeared. Like it's just over. The clubs are shut down and they haven't started again. So it's all over the place. Let's shift a little bit to hear what's your greatest triumph so far. If you think about since August to now, what's your greatest win, your greatest triumph in club ministries?
Before you shift, Pastor Pedro, talking about challenge, in everything, we got to look beyond. And COVID come in and it give us all a challenge. And indeed, it's a heavy one and a big one. But let's look back. If we didn't have challenge, what would we be? Or what would happen if we didn't have challenge? So challenges make us stronger. Challenges make us have a more firm determination that come what may, this challenge is not going to hold me back, but I'm going to proceed through it. So challenges, it can be good sometimes.
Yeah, I hear you.
Challenge makes us creative, Calvin. It's good. I add to that, and it makes us creative because there's a lot of things that we never thought we could do. And look how much things we have done on Zoom. So you have to be creative in a lot of things, personal, professionals, church ministry, but look how far we've come, but still looking forward to being in person.
The only thing I had to do was challenge Calvin Brooks to run a 50-yard dash, and the rest was history. The rest was history, my friends. Calvin beat me in the 50-yard dash, just so you know. Calvin won. And so, yeah, watch out for challenges. And I didn't even hurt myself trying to race him. That was the amazing thing. All right, let's shift to the greatest triumph. What's been your biggest win? The thing you're most excited about that's happened since you started this club year for 2021, 2022?
Hello, this is Kathy.
Kathy.
How you doing? The greatest win has been working with different conferences who we've been working together to assist with Master Guide. Like we have the Lake Union, is it Lake Union? Gloria Mars Conference. They're working with our Master Guides who only speak Portuguese. So they have a class online. Here in our area, we have Dave Adden, who's working with our Spanish clubs. So we're reaching out from one conference to the next conference and sharing different ideas, whether it be via Zoom, one team, or even YouTube activities. So we've been contacting one another from different states. Hey, what are you doing? How are things going? Can I send somebody over there? When do you meet? And in Florida conference, it has been great because normally we do area activities for Master Guide, but now when we have the online training, people are from all areas and they're able to network and share ideas on how you're doing it, or how do you do your camping skills? How do you record it? So we've come together and we've started sharing ideas, not just in Florida conference, but different conferences and different unions and North America. And that's been a great thing.
Yeah, I like that. That's a positive, isn't it? Cool. Someone else, what's been a triumph, a good thing that's happened in this club year?
Pastor Pedro, it's Lorene again.
Yes,
I'll turn my video back on. So I would say for us, it's quite simple but profound. And it's the fact that as a team, as much as we were burnt out, we did not want to give up on the children. And we wanted to pursue regardless of how we felt or was happening. And we prayed on it and we just wanted to persevere. And I have to say personally, for me, I think, a lot of that had to do with the fact that, as a leadership team, you guys were still in existence. Sherry, Pedro, Pastor Stewart, the fact that, knowing that even above me, the team is still rocking it and pushing through, and they want to see activities taking place, and you guys want to see this done and that done, and the consistency was there, kept me motivated as an individual, assisting with adventurers to want to go through with it. Because, if you guys had fell apart, easy for me to say, oh, well, there's no more Adventure Pathfinders. Okay, well, that's it. But you guys kept on pushing through, and it's like, well, if they can do it and they're supporting us and they're there, it really helped, balance me to keep on pushing through. And I'm sure that my club members and my club teammates would say the same. So thank you guys for being consistent, because really, the effects are really felt down here.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And I love the shout out for Sherry. Sherry's a big part of North Florida, and on her team, she has Elmer on today. Thank you for being here on that. But yeah, it's something that it's nice to hear that was an encouragement to you. So thank you for sharing that. That means a lot.
And for me, more to piggyback on what you said, it was very high in my life where I again started receiving calls from different directors. Can you come and teach us this? Can you come and teach us honor? Can you come and preach for our Pathfinder Day? We're going to have this activity. We're camping. So it was nice to hear that a lot of clubs were again or continued to redo things the way it was in the past, with all precautions, of course, but it was still nice to be there in person with mask or no mask.
Very good. Thank you, Jose. And thank you for being available to do all that. That's a great encouragement. All right. So now this is a question just to kind of think back about life. Like, in the last year, who's given you some advice that you wish you would have gotten sooner? Like, who's given you a piece of information or a piece of counsel where you're like, man, if I would have heard that 10 years ago, it would have really made such a difference. Is there any advice that someone's given to you recently that you wish you would have heard sooner? Anyone have any thoughts on that one? I know my mom would always tell me before I went to the doctor, if I broke a finger or was sick, like she said, make sure you have on clean underwear. I was like, what does that have to do with the doctor? Like, what's that all about? And I guess the thing was, if you ever, like, I don't know, I still don't understand that one, but I'm looking for advice that is advice that, man, I wish someone would have told me that sooner. Kathy, thank you for shaking your head for me. I appreciate that. I love it. So look for better advice than that, right? What's some advice that you heard that you're like, man, if somebody just would have told me that sooner?
I would like to advise the directors to pick their staff during the month of August, between August and September. Because if you wait until the board pick, and everybody's gonna be occupied. So pick first, then they could say, oh, I'm on Pathfinder, I'm sorry.
That's nice.
That's what I did.
Okay, look at you. You got
might want
tired
to
of
do it.
waiting.
Yeah, you might want to do it before August, September, because if you wait, you're missing leadership convention and options to plan, because we hit the ground running. So good thing, but I'd go back a little bit further.
That's funny. Yeah, good advice. You heard that here today. You heard that here today. Very good. Yeah, picking leaders is a big deal. And I know one of the things we've looked at is how do we get people who are the best people to work with kids. And one of the ways to get that is before they already have 3 or 4 other things to do. I know one pastor suggested to a group, What if we didn't let any of the adult positions get filled until we filled all the kids' positions? What would that do to a church, right? What would that do if the church said, we want to make sure every kid has the best chance to get to know Jesus, and so we're not going to fill any adult Sabbath school, any adult other positions until we figure this one out? And I thought that was pretty nice. It says something about what matters, right? About what's most important. All right. So let me switch it this way. What advice would you give to a new club director? I think the Jacksonville Spanish comment here just was kind of in that direction. But if you were a new club director, or if you had a new club director, like let's say you go to a new church and there's a new club director, they've never done it before, what advice would you give to a new club director? Anybody have a thought on that one?
The first thing I would say is don't try to reinvent the wheel. It's
Okay.
already there. It may be daunting if you wanted to start, but the information is there. The personnel is there to, assist in any way. So don't look like it's an impossible task.
Yeah, there are resources available, right? Carol says her advice to a new club director would be, don't look at the website. There's no information there. Thank you, Carol. Thank you.
To ask others, even if it was an ex-director. I've been to churches where they got 3 or 4 ex-directors and they don't even talk to each other. Like, hey, well, what advice do you have for me? They just come in and they want to do their own thing because they don't want nothing to do with the ex-director. I want to do things my way. Oh, yes, you can do things your way, but still you can go by what, like Cherry said, there's things out there already that are set for you. You don't have to be putting your hair out, and everything when there's things there already.
Is that what happened, Jose? You had to pull your hair out? There's nobody. All right. If you have a chance to talk to the director before you, like, why not do it? Why not do it? It's very good. Anybody else? What advice would you give to a new club director?
Advertise your ministry with your uniform on. It captivate the kids' eyes, the grown-ups, everybody. And don't advertise in the morning. Advertise during the second sermon, so everybody's there, everybody can listen to you, and you will have more people to tell them the club is gonna be open in September 1st or something like that.
I like it. How many years have you been a club director? Just curious. Jacksonville Spanish.
This is my second.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're speaking like a veteran. Okay. Very good. I like it.
I'm being in this ministry since I'm 6 years old, so I see people do it before me.
Got you. Okay. Very good. Okay. We're coming down to the end of our questions. Let me ask this one. What are you most excited about when you think about club ministry for the rest of this year? What are you most excited about when you think about club ministry for the rest of this year? I don't know how you've traveled or where you've been, but when I travel and I see that there's a group that's active, and I see that there's a group of kids that are out camping, or a group of kids that are meeting for a Pathfinder Adventure Sabbath, it's exciting to me to see that things could be back to meeting in person more and more regularly. That's very exciting to me. I think that's a lot of energy, and that's a lot of just momentum that clubs can get if we can get back to that. I don't think Club Ministries has been strong for 70 years because we met digitally on Zoom. I think Club Ministries has been strong for 70 years because kids got to go out in nature, kids got to get together, and kids got to experience God through nature in the frame of club ministries. And I'm excited for those days to come back.
And also it's exciting to read where other conferences are also doing things, like the Southwestern Conference just finished in Texas, just finished doing their Camporee, live Camporee, and so the Lake Region and a lot of other conferences. So that means that little by little, everybody's going back to meeting person to person.
Yeah. Yeah, it is fun to see. I've even seen a union camporee that happened. Maybe that's the one you were talking about in Texas, but that's a whole union committee.
Yeah, that is correct. Southwestern Union, right.
Yeah. And Florida Conference will be joining the Southern Union in October at Kalakwa for a Pathfinder union camporee. That's the plan. So that's something that's coming up, and that's potentially going to be an opportunity for kids to get together again with other people. And like Eartha said earlier with Red Zone. So yeah, those things I think bring some energy. You can tell the sun's setting here. I picked a spot right where the sun would be setting, right at 4:47. So it's a nice little gift of some sunshine. I'll get some vitamin D while I'm meeting with you. All right, anybody else? Something exciting, something you're looking forward to for the rest of this club year?
Our club have a ministry. Inside our ministry is called 3D Ministry. Is dedicated, determined, and driven by God. We are going every other Sabbath to give things to the homeless.
Nice.
This coming Saturday, we are going to give them blankets, food, and clothing. So pray for our ministry because this is gonna bless a lot of homeless people.
Wow, that's awesome. And it's a good time to give blankets and clothing, right? Very good. Someone else want to share? I'm going to go to our last question. And this is kind of a reflective question that I do still want a response from, but it's what's one thing you're asking God to do for you, for your club, for the kids you serve, the families you serve? As you lead in club ministry, the question is, what's one thing you're asking God to do for you in your club, with the families, with the kids that you serve? I'm curious to hear what your response is, because this isn't just about us. It's not a human thing. It's not how can we lead kids? How can we get better at leading kids? That's not all that's there. This is, how am I involving God? What am I asking him to do for my club? What am I asking him to do for my kids? What am I asking him to do for the parents of the families and the guardians of those families? What are you talking to God about when it comes to club ministry for the rest of this year?
To help me be more in there with the kids, not just during events and activities, but also on a one-on-one basis with the parents, with counselors, and with the kids when they need support, either be for anything, sports, education, be there on a personal basis. Who has God to help me be more involved in the lives of the Pathfinders and staff, not just, oh, hey, I'm the RC director, how you doing? Okay, let's march. Not just that. And when they do invite me to any activity, that also to speak to them, and God help me say the right words. So help me bring them closer to God.
Nice. Very good. Thank you, Jose. Someone else, what are you talking to God about? What's your heart talking to God about? It's kind of tying into our devotional, right? Like, what's your heart saying as you talk about club ministry with God?
I pray that, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you go. I will wait. I'll go after you.
Thank you. I pray that through the Pathfinder ministry, our children can get to know Jesus, that they can get to feel that they belong, that they are important to God and to us. And through the Pathfinder Club, they can find themselves and start to understand that they can be an instrument in Jesus' hands, to take his love and show his love to others. So I pray for that.
Amen. What a great prayer. Thank you for sharing that.
Pastor Pedro.
Yes.
My greatest desire, my prayer, our theme for this year at my church is unshakable faith. And my prayer is that every PBE, Pathfinder Bible Experience participant will grow to have this faith in God, that even if something seems to be going wrong, trust God. That is what I wish for our children, our Pathfinders, the PBE team members this year. Trust God. Have faith. He's going to see us through.
Very nice. Wow. So it sounds like your church theme has caught your attention.
Yes, it has.
I like it.
Faith.
Unshakable faith. I like that. Thank you for sharing that. And I love how you connected that to the ministry that you lead and asking God to help a generation of PBE participants to have unshakable faith. Thank you.
Welcome.
I would like to share. Like, my prayer is, as everyone has said, to draw our kids closer to God. But this year our theme is, I am love, the cross is proof. My prayer is that each Pathfinder, adventurer, young, they're never too young, or however old they are, they will reflect on what the cross means, especially in these last days that we see. But more so, we have different types of Pathfinder, right? And different styles of Pathfinder. There may be Pathfinders that are vocal, outgoing in different ways that can bring people. And then you do have Pathfinders that may be a little more reserved or, feel shy or whatever it is, they don't talk as much. But those can also be involved. So whether you have the ones that are up front or you have the ones that are more reserved in the back, each one of them can witness to their peers and even to adults to draw them closer to the cross, to look to the cross and to see and understand what it all means in the grand scheme of things. That Jesus is coming again soon, and what he did on that cross is because of his love for us. And I would love to reflect that not only personally, locally to my community, my church, to the kids I minister to, but that's my prayer, that each one of them will be that ripple effect and transmit that to their influence as well.
Very good. Thank you. And that's another PAC member you're hearing from. The Pathfinder Adventure Committee serves club ministries. And you heard it from Jose. You're hearing it from Bertha, one of our directors for Red Zone. Just the heart of our leaders is that they want to see kids know Jesus, right? Like at the end of the day, that's what you want at the club. That's what we want. And just the curious question is, what are you asking God to do? Like, what specifically are you asking God to do, so that if it happens, you'll know, like, hey, God did that. That's part of what this time is.
One of the things I'm praying for is that parent would love children more. And when I said parent would love children more, both in our churches and otherwise, other places, because sometimes you see adult treat children, you consider if they were children once. And if we continue to treat children the way we are treating children now, some of them, in a little while, if God tarry is coming, if Jesus tarry is coming later, those children who we are supposed to be teaching now, then they will have nothing to teach their children. And society will get worse. But the other part of it that I'm praying that the Pathfinder and adventure leader who have to deal with children should deal with children as if they are their personal children. So that love which you have for your personal children, that's the way we should deal with children who we come in contact with.
Thank you for that. That's a good prayer, Calvin. Parents are a big part of ministry. I know adventure ministry is a parent ministry, right? And sometimes we forget that Pathfinders are connected to parents as well. Like Pathfinders don't live on their own. They don't work on, like they don't have jobs. They're not paying the bills. They're connected to parents, to families. And to remember parents is what makes both of these ministries move is a big deal. Thank you.
Pastor Pedro, this is Lorene.
Yes.
My prayer, I'm not a adventure director, I'm the secretary actually, but my prayer has been and will and most recently is twofold. First is to be able to reach more children in our community. Times have definitely changed, and I think it even touches to what Mr. Brooks was saying just now in regards to parents. I feel like there is such a additional layer of stress that's out there, that a lot of frustration is being seen, more visible. And I pray that first, we're able to make more impact in the community and bring children into our ministry. And two, that the parents are able to see this and be able to see the desire for their children to learn something outside of worldly things, things that are Christ focused, Jesus focused, so that, and that also in turn brings that message to the parents and gives them some form of relief, because there's a lot of stress going on right now in the parental realm. And I mean, I personally feel it, but I know God, so I know how to manage that to the best of my ability. But I still know that as a Christian, so I can imagine what the world is going through. So that's my prayer twofold, is to make more of an impact in the community so that we can help the parents, alleviate some of their stress.
I like that. It's a great combination. And if you are a director or a secretary or a staff member on today, and you've thought that your club was only for kids from the church, I invite you to think bigger. I invite you to think wider. Club ministry was never designed to only be for Adventist kids. It was designed to be a ministry that would help Adventist kids for sure, and help the church kids for sure, and reach out to the community. I'll never forget the story of one of our leaders in South Florida who her son was Pathfinder age and the church didn't have Pathfinders. So she literally went door to door in her neighborhood, inviting kids to come be a part of a meeting. And she created a Pathfinder club out of community kids plus her son, because she wanted her son to have a Pathfinder club. And I love that. I'll never forget that story. And it's just amazing to me how leaders continue to think bigger than their own church in terms of saying, hey, this is too good to keep to ourselves. Like, we want other kids from the community to know it. And to also echo the parents, I love that. Parents need help. And if we as parents who have Jesus in our lives realize that we need help, imagine what parents without Jesus go through and struggle with and have challenges with. I love that prayer. Keep praying it. Very good. Thank you, Lori. Anyone else want to share what you're praying about? What are you asking God for in this club year? Is there one last person that wants to share something? If not, I'll move us on.
My prayer has been, and it's similar to Lorene's, is that God will show us the way to reach others right now. Since we are so inhibited at the moment of getting out there into the public, show us how, how are we to do this? Give us the opportunity, whether large or small, whatever it may be. And we just have to be willing to be open, to God to use us in any way possible. And that's been my prayer.
I like that. I like that. And that's true. There is a wisdom that goes farther than our own wisdom, right?
Yes.
Thank you for that, Sherry. And may God help us. Like we constantly try to think of ways we can do stuff. And let's make sure God's a part of that conversation of God, help us to see what we can do. Very good. Thank you very much. All right. I thank you for those who gave input. I thank you for the thoughts you shared. That's been helpful for me to kind of hear and get a sense of where you're at and what's going on in your heart and in your mind. And we want to also give a chance for some things to happen separately in ministry areas. So at this point, I'm going to ask you, if you haven't put a P or an A before your name, if you could do that, because it would be helpful for us when we go to separate you into groups to do P and A. And I think, Stephen, we talked about doing this together. We've got 2 adventure staff from our OEB team and 1 adventure leader here. Oh, sorry, 2 adventure leaders. Yes, thank you. Sherry, are there some things that you want to talk just to the adventures about? Would that be helpful if we got you separated into a room?
Unless they have questions, well, there's a couple of things I need to ask them, but not a whole lot, just about events that we're planning and where do we need to go with them.
Yeah, so let's do this. Let's take 15 minutes, or let's take 10 minutes and just split the group up. So please, if you're a PAC member and you just put your state title, if you want to go to adventures, add an A to your thing. Otherwise, I'll leave you in the Pathfinder room. And I'm going to open up a breakout room for the adventures, and I'll send the adventure people over into that room, and we'll give you 10 minutes and then we'll come back. So for the Pathfinder side, if you're here with, I see TLT, varsity, drill, PBE, we'll give you a chance to master guide, red zone, like we'll give you a chance to talk and say anything you want to our directors. And then adventures, you'll have some time to talk that way too. So go ahead, please, if you would, to change your name. And if just for the adventures, if you have some things for the adventures, I will go ahead and get you split out over there, and then I'll bring you back in about 10 minutes. Does 10 minutes sound okay, Sherry?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to assign those who have an A or an adventure. I see them, and I'm going to put Pastor Stephen over there as well. Okay, we'll see you back here in a few minutes. Adventures, go ahead and accept the room and you'll get shifted over. For those who are not adventures, stay here and we'll go through some things. And Calvin will give you a chance to lead through some of this. There we go. So let me, so Calvin is here and I'll open it up. We have with us here our drill director, which some of you may have never even met before. And she's waving at you right now because she's excited to tell you some things about drill, and just more than anything, just say hi to you. So we have Jay here, and then I'll let each of our PAC members kind of introduce themselves, say what you do, how you can serve clubs, and how can people contact you. And let's use the chat to put in your contact information because it's hard to hear it and repeat it and give people a chance. So please do take a moment to, if you are a PAC member, to go into the chat and put your email, cell number, or both, or either or, and let's get that information. Okay, but we do want to make sure that our PAC members are available to you and that you know how to reach out to them. So that's one thing. And so go ahead, let's start with our drill director. Jay, if you want to say hi, let everybody hear your voice and whatever message you want to share with them.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sabbath. I don't know if anybody actually knows who I am. You've probably seen me around as a different title, I guess. But my name is Jay, or I go by Jay. My name is actually Javni Bell. I am the drill director for the state. I took over Alex's position almost 2 years now, which is kind of when all of COVID started. So I've never actually been in person anywhere. I'm going to put my contact information in. I have my email address as well as my phone number. Feel free to text me, email me, call me. If I don't answer the phone calls, please leave a voicemail, and I will get back to you. Let's see. You are free to call me, text me whenever you want to. If I can't make it up to the north, I will send representation that I have in the north. We have very few drill reps in the north, but I will send somebody. We're looking to do something statewide in September. So next Pathfinder year, anything from now until Red Zone will most likely be local, or just your church. If you want some help, feel free to call us and let us know. And one last thing that we are trying to put together, great idea from our own varsity director, Jose, and we've kind of been talking about it, is to put together a kind of like an exhibition or a drill exhibition for the 70th anniversary celebration for Red Zone. We're trying to put 70 kids together from all different areas. So we'll have X amount of people from the north, X amount of people from the south, so on and so forth. Jose, you want to talk a little bit more about that? Again, it's in the planning stages. It's just kind of an idea, but we do want to put it out there for you guys to know about it.
Yes, from the 70th anniversary committee, some ideas were put out. And we said, well, everything is 70. Why don't we come up with a 70-member drill team? Some of us that are here in this meeting were in the Inter-American Division Camporee, and they had a 110-member drill team. So we said, hey, why can't we have a 71 here in Florida? And we got 4 areas. So we spoke with Jay about getting, like you said, different numbers from different areas, and all those details will come out later. But that's the whole idea, that we can have at least one representing every little corner in the state of Florida.
Any questions for me or for him regarding any of that? No? Beautiful.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Jay. So Jay, what if I'm a local club director and I need local club help with my drill team? Is somebody from your team, or are you available for that?
Most likely, since it's in the north, I will send somebody up there, but if I don't have anybody, then I will make my way up that way.
Yeah, perfect. So all of our PAC team members either have a committee or are building a committee, and they have representatives all around. So if you need something with drill, if you need something with varsity help, if you need whatever you need help with, we've got a team that's there to help you. So don't struggle. Like Sherry said, don't reinvent the wheel. Contact our leaders and they can help you get what you need. Okay, thank you, Jay. Jose, you started some stuff. Let's jump into Jose next, but Calvin wants to say something first.
Okay, to Jay. Jay, so from what you're saying, are you looking for a drill representative from the north area?
To work with me, or do you mean for the 70th thing?
To be on your committee.
To be on my committee, yes. Because as of right now, I have somebody from the West. I believe it's the West working with North. Yeah. So it'll be a lot easier if I had somebody in the North.
So I hope the directors or the people from the North who are on can hear this and can share the word around, and also Carol. And I know that Albert should be on from his area, so they will also hear that. Go ahead. Sorry, Jose.
No problem. Well, for varsity, we have our regular PSCs for Red Zone. Unfortunately, the committee decided not to add a new event for this year. We have lost judges. We have been through so much. But next year, we have a new event. But all the other regular events will be on. The pamphlets are there, or the instructions are online. Also in July, we have our usual varsity ultimate adventure when we go to Tennessee. This year, because of the Southern Union Camporee being so close, plus we know that a lot of people are still at work and all that, we decided to do some, we're gonna have an adventure, but it's gonna be local. So more information will come as we come in with the contract with these people that we're trying to get a hold of to see if they can give it for the least amount of money. And also in December, the first week of December is our regular varsity spiritual retreat. We have not had it for the last 2 years because of COVID, but this year, God willing, we'll have our varsity spiritual retreat. Usually it's in Pine Lake, but as you all know, Pine Lake has been sold, even though they say we have priority in whatever activity you want to do. We're trying to figure out if it's cheaper somewhere else or do it at Pine Lake, but other information also will come along. We still got a whole year to go through that though, but just keep in your calendar for in December, it's the varsity spiritual retreat. And also I'd like to present to you guys, some of you might not know him, well, know him, but not know his position. Willie, which is there. I know he's there representing his club, Palm Coast, but he's also my varsity rep for the North area. Say hi, Willie.
Hi, Willie.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing?
So if you have any questions or anything about your club, do any varsity activity, you can call Willie or you can call me. Willie, put your information there so they can contact you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jose. Let's go to Kim, representing TLT, Teen Leadership Training. What would you like to share with these directors?
TLT is still going. We don't have as many as we have in the past, but we still have a few that are choosing to continue on with this. And so this is exciting. We're going to be running our second operation training for the year. It's going to be in 2 weeks and it'll be in Fort Myers. Registration's already closed, of course. But registration is open for any TLTs that want to participate in the optional February outdoor challenge. So again, you have to be a registered TLT. You do that by filling in your paperwork and sending it to me, and you could be eligible for the outdoor TLT challenge, which is always a lot of fun. So pray for us in 2 weeks over Martin Luther King weekend that we're going to have a nice spirit-filled weekend and see where the spirit leads.
Kim, it's next week.
Next week? Next week,
Yes.
Then it's next week. Boy, times flies. I've just been having so much fun. Woohoo!
All right. Very good. Thank you, Kim. Let's go to Kathy from Master Guides. What would you like us to know?
What I would like you to know is that if you are in need of knowing anyone who would like to start working on their Master Guide requirements, we do not have a representative in the North area. I was working on one person in Palm Coast, but I'm not sure she's still available. Was so close to investing. We're excited with our training that we're doing online. The next meeting will be this weekend, will be on Friday evening. We'll be doing a Zoom training. And if you go to my information, I'll be able to send you the link and the location. I wish there was the link, but the location will be at your home and my home, and we'll meet together on Zoom.
Thank you, Kathy. So our leaders are putting their information, scroll up and down in the chat to grab the information that you need, the email, the cell number. Thank you for that. I see that Deidre Taylor has joined. Deidre and Elliston run eTracker. Okay. I don't know if you would like to share something, Deidre, if you're in a place where you can share something.
I am in a place. Hello, everyone. It is good to be with you. We're excited about what the eTracker program is going to and ready to do for you in the North area. This year's eTracker event is going to be held on April 10th. And the theme is I am loved and ready to serve. And with that theme, we are planning to serve the community there. Hopefully the venue, we are still working on tightening up some things, but it should be at Camp Kalakwa. And we are going to use that venue to be able to bring not only some good fun for the children and do some extreme events, but also serve the community in different areas, nursing home visits and other areas. And we're going to offer honors as well. So we look forward to that. But before that, of course, we have the eTracker Reveille that is coming up, and we are going to be there with you. If you need any help, please reach out to us and let us know. We did have 2 vibrant representatives in your area. And at this present moment, it saddens my heart to say that I don't have a rep anymore in the North area, just because we've had Ryan Long moved away out of state. And most recently, Joel Perez was also the rep working there in your area. And due to his commitment with school, he no longer can serve on the E-Tracker committee. So if you have or know of young, and I'm looking for young, vibrant people who are on fire for Jesus. I don't want people as old as me and Elliston. We want young people so that we can train, equip, and deploy them to take over, because we're not going to be here forever. And we need them to be on fire so that they can help support, bring more support to the North area and be there with you, with your events, help plan your events, but more so a presence is there so that when we can't be there with you, they can be our eyes and ears for you and relay all the messages that need to be held to you. So if there's any question or anything, please feel free to reach out to me, reach out to Elliston, and we are here for you. We are praying for you. We are praying with you, and we hope we can get representatives in the area. But we also would like for you to support the event. We are bringing an E-Tracker event in your area, especially for you, so that you can bring the children out so that they can have a good time, they can learn, but more so importantly, they can also give back to the community. And that will be April 10th. So please put that in your book, and it will be at Camp Kalakwa.
All right, very good. So who's responsible for the flowers we see behind you? Whose hand planted those plants?
That would be my flowers that I planted in my garden.
All right, just wanted to make sure, give credit where credit's due. Okay, thank you, Deidre, for sharing. Eartha, you shared a little bit earlier. Would you like to share anything else?
Yes, I would like to share. We're very excited about Red Zone, as I mentioned earlier. And I just want to encourage everyone to start making plans to come back out to a live Red Zone. The committee is busy. We're just getting ramped up with planning all the various different things, and we're planning them safely for you and for all our kids. So we look forward to having everyone at Kalakwa on May 27th to the 29th. A lot of details will be coming out. I'm sure different admins and different club directors, the admins will be reaching out to you to all participate where you can, whether it's to do honors, to help us with activities. So start recruiting those that you think would be, would make a good instructor, or to help us out with various activities so that it can be fun for everyone. I know, as we all know, 2 years, not being in person, everyone has all those energies, and we're looking forward to you releasing them with us at Red Zone this year. So keep watch for your emails, for different bulletins, for the website, all the information that will be coming out. And if you do have ideas that you want to share with us that we can incorporate to help make this one of the best coming back live Red Zone, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can call me, you can email me, you can WhatsApp me, you can reach me any which way you want to. Just let's all just get involved and get excited to bringing our young people back and fired up this year, May 27th to the 29th at Camp Kalakwa. I look forward to seeing everyone there.
Thank you, Eartha. I appreciate the energy you bring to our Red Zone event. I believe we have Sister Brooks still with us. If you would share with us about PBE, what's going on with Pathfinder Bible Experience?
I will. First, let me apologize for my camera being muted. Please forgive me, it's necessary. Okay, so I did put my information in the chat. And here's the thing, North. So far, I cannot see one club or one team from the North area. I spoke to Neil in Tallahassee, and he says there's a possibility. Now, this is what I'm hoping. I'm still hoping. I spoke with Carol Barnett this week, and she's on board to help me. We have Sherry, we have Neil. If you want to do PBE, it's February 5th, Pathfinder Bible Experience. I put my information in the chat. Please contact me. The thing is that, or if you don't want to contact me, I did ask Carol's permission, but you can send her a text. Don't email her, send her a text. If you email her, you won't get any response.
Until after the PBE.
Right. Go ahead and let me know. Registration is open right now, but it closes on the 31st. We cannot wait until the 31st to get a location to put a team to serve you. So please, I'm asking you, if you're studying, contact Carl, contact me, contact Calvin, contact the conference office, register, but do it now so that we will be able to, because if we don't have teams, we will not have any, we will not secure a location or get a team to serve you. It's going to be February 5th. We'll start at 4 o'clock. Let us know. My prayer, talking about unshakable faith, I am trying to exercise that right now so that we will have 1 or 2 or 3. If it's 1, and Carl was suggesting that you could join up with the Central, but we will see. Just let us know, okay? Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Merlin. There's a question from Willie, Palm Coast. Go ahead. Go ahead, Willie. Unmute yourself. Yep.
We have a team. They just don't know where to register. So where do they go about doing that?
Okay. Go to Pastor Pedro. Go ahead and answer, please.
So you need to go to the YMMS. That's where you'll register for PBE.
And Palm Coast, I will put you down. Yay! I'm happy we have Palm Coast. Hear that, Carol? We might be getting something going.
Yay.
Thank you, Willie.
Pastor Pedro, may I just say one more thing in reference to Red Zone? I failed to remind everyone. I wanted to remind you that we do have early bird. So you're going to see information coming out and mention to start thinking of your clubs. I want everyone to try to take advantage of our early bird registration. We have that will be coming started on the 21st of February and it goes until the 20th. So about a month of early bird registration. And then it goes into a regular registration. So start thinking about that now and start thinking about registering early to help you save a little bit,
Very
Okay.
good. Thank you, Eartha. And Calvin Brooks is with us. He is our state Pathfinder leader. What words would you like to share with our North Florida leaders?
What I want to share with our North Florida leaders is that we are all in this together. I live in the South, but I'm in the North. That means I am part of the North. And where Pathfinder ministry is concerned, I can say one thing to you. If you're planning to quit, just think about your children, or just think about who were there for you to help you if you were a Pathfinder. And the love that you have for yourself, would like to share the same thing with our children. Leaders, I don't know how to say thanks for what you have been doing and what you will continue to do for our Pathfinder. And it's not about you, it's about the children who God loaned to you. And if we are on our way to the kingdom, we want to see our children to the kingdom. Remember one thing, leaders, a lot of what the children know is what you will teach them. And how can they know without someone to teach them? And God select you to be leaders, and it's for a purpose, to lead his children closer to Jesus.
Thank you, Calvin. It's a good reminder.
And I am working with the North right now. I'm in touch with Carol, Neil, and Albert. We are working together. We working to get the Reveille going, working with Deidre to get the E-Tracker Pro, the North Extreme program going, and we'll be with Jose for both the Reveille and the North E-Tracker program. So North area, you are a big part of the Florida Conference Pathfinder Ministry. Thank you.
Thank you, Calvin. That's true. We have 4 parts in Florida: North, Central, West, and South. And it's not the same with one of our parts not there. Try driving a car with 3 tires. Doesn't work very well. We need all 4 tires to keep this car of club ministries going. So thank you from our side for what you're doing there in terms of club ministry. for your church, your kids, the kids in the community, and the families that are in your churches and around your communities. I closed the breakout room for our adventure friends, so they should be coming back in. And then we have a few more things to go over. Welcome back to our adventure leaders.
Hi, Carol.
We are glad that you have come back. I do want to walk us through a few more things. Usually in this second breakout, what we like to do is take some time to get some input from you at the local level. So I'd like to do that. We did get some questions earlier, and I'm thankful for your input on that. I do want to have us go through a few more things. So I'm going to ask a few more questions, and would love to get some input. In terms of how things are going in your club, in your cluster, what do you need from your cluster coordinators, from the Pathfinder Adventure Department? Any general response there? What's happening in your local club? What's happening in your local cluster? What are you getting from your cluster coordinator if you have one? What do you need from them? What do you need from us from the Pathfinder Adventure Department? That's where I'd like to get some input from you. How's it going for your club? Is there something you need in a bigger picture from us, from your cluster coordinators? Any thoughts there? I'm in between two screens, so if you want to speak, just unmute your microphone and go ahead and share.
Well, I can say, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. For the club, well, we're doing good. We kind of have to hold a little the meetings. We're supposed to be back actually today. Today was supposed to be the first meeting of this year, but due to the situations and parents being a little bit concerned, we push it to the 22nd of January. I haven't personally, I spoke once with our coordinator, and she was really open and willing to help us. It's been a little bit more on my side. I need to touch bases with her again, but I want to start, getting together and see what is the feedback from the parents and the reaction. Everybody's a little bit concerned and cautious. Although we have the blessing of having the meetings, last year we meet the whole year outside, and we meet every other week. So we have 2 meetings per month outside. If the weather is not good, we're not meeting. So we're trying to avoid being in an enclosure space. But in general, I think we're doing good, and God willing, this is going to be also a good year for us.
Excellent. Glad to hear that. Thank you for sharing, Lewis. And we're glad that Adventures is going there in Gainesville. And thank you for leading. And I know you said you've got your family involved. That's great.
Pastor Perez?
Yes.
May I ask Louis a question?
Please.
Louis, hi. This is Marilyn Brooks, PBE Director.
Oh, hello, sister. How are you?
Hi, I'm okay. I know that you're adventurers, but I'm just asking. I know that Gainesville Spanish participated in PBE. I think 2020 it was virtual. Do you know if they have a PBE team, and or do you have a contact? If you have a Pathfinder club, you could send to me. I could call or tell Carol, and we could call to find out, please.
Yes, definitely. I'm also helping in the Pathfinder side. It's a little bit new for me. We got some instructors, and this year we're hoping somebody else will guide towards that. But definitely, we can keep in touch and make sure we give you all the information that you need for our club to be involved.
Thank you, Lewis. And good idea, Merlin. Good job. Okay. Anyone else have a response?
There's any Wait, any way that we can learn how to work on the YMS system?
Yes, so there are some tutorials online. There are some videos, there are some documents that you can use, and those will help you kind of get the basics of how to use YMMS. Also, if you contact our office, we have our secretaries who can help kind of personally walk you through stuff. So that's another option. Have you ever seen the tutorials on the website?
Yes, I did.
Were they helpful?
Well, whatever I know right now is because I've been watching those videos, you know, every time I have a problem, I go back and see if I can find anything, but there's things that are not there that I would like to learn.
Yeah, so there is a lot more that the YMMS can do than what the tutorials teach you. And that's where we're looking at creating an advanced set of tutorials. And also a way to do that is to contact directly with our secretaries and they can help you. I think also Lewis offered to help.
Yes.
With now that it's up and running, that they can bring their information to and we can actually sit and do it.
Yeah, so when we first launched what was CMS then, now it's YMMS. When we first launched it, we went around to all the areas and did a church training where churches came together and did a live training. But the challenge was that we had you create the account and we were just helping you get started and do that. So Carol just suggested, what if we go back and do area trainings where you can come to the training and we can actually teach you now that you have your account, you bring your computer, you have it in front of you, you're logged in under your account, you're going through and watching on the screen what they're doing. And I see your assistant there is very excited about that in Jacksonville. Okay, so let us talk about that. Let me, yeah. Okay, I'm making a note of that. Very good. Thank you. So another thing that I wanted to get some input on is we have been talking about the curriculum, A New Kind of Leader, and that's something that we have been promoting. This is the book, and I have one of these here today to give away. You have one of these?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I wanted to give that away just to say that that's a resource that you have. Thank you, Lewis, for putting your info there in the chat. Stephen, can you copy and paste that, Lewis's information, just to make sure that we capture that? We can get that from the YMMS too, but he's offered to help us. Okay, so in terms of A New Kind of Leader, we would like to just get some input. Have any of you looked at the curriculum, used the curriculum, seen anything about the resource? I know we were starting to do A New Kind of Leader in Jacksonville Spanish, and I was there in the church the day that was like February something, 2020. And then we said people were nervous about staying and we said, let's not do it. And so we canceled. Stephen still did it on another side. I was doing it in Spanish, but the Spanish church wasn't ready to do that. So we decided to cancel. We are gonna do some live trainings. I shouldn't say live. We're gonna do one live training in Newport Richey, and we'll do several virtual trainings of A New Kind of Leader. But if you're looking for something that would help your church come together, something that would help your church say, let's get a plan, let's get a strategy and all move together in the same direction. And what if we took some things that we thought we were pretty clear on and expanded them and got a little bit more information and challenged ourselves to push our thinking and push what we're doing? That's something that we'd like to do. So there's part of that's in the video, so I don't want to go over that too much more now, but I did just want to check in and see how you're doing on that. I also want to check in with you. These are the new kind, these are the quick start guides. Some of these are online. If you want a printed version, you can get them, but they have Adventure Director in English and Spanish, Pathfinder Director, English and Spanish, and they even have a children's evangelism one. So there are different quick start guides that Advent Source has created that are available to you. And some of those are online on our website under resources for leaders. If you want a printed copy, Advent Source would have that. This is something called Share Some Love that we talked about. And we talk about during the month of February, March, everybody's thinking about love because of Valentine's Day. That doesn't mean everybody feels loved on Valentine's Day, but everybody's thinking about love somewhere. And this is a pack of 100 cards that we're encouraging clubs to take and go door to door and have their kids go out and say, I've got a gift for you, just to let you know that you're loved and to let you know that God's thinking about you. So we'd love for clubs to contact us. If you contact us from the Pathfinder Adventure Department, we have this stack of 100 cards for $5. That's a better deal than you'll get at most places. Next year is a 70 years of Pathfinder ministry, and I've got some challenges that I'd like to throw out to you. You can go get your own, but we will have several of these ready. It's sorry, with the glare of the lights here, you can't really see it. It's a New Testament, and it's a small New Testament. But I'm willing to send this to a club, 70 of these to a club, so that you can challenge your kids to give out 70 New Testaments in the year 2022 to celebrate 70 years of Pathfinder ministry. So if you want to take me up on that challenge, we'll charge you a small fee for that. But this is something we want to do. So if you want to get your kids to get 70 New Testaments or more, like you can, but we'll pack those in 70. Another challenge I'm looking for a club to partner with me on is to give out this DVD. This is a DVD called The Story of Jesus Through the Eyes of Children. And I would love to see some Pathfinders take me up on this challenge to get 70 DVDs and pass them out in their community to kids, and then tell them to come to an event where you're going to talk to them about what they saw on the DVD. And you can be as creative as you want to do this, but we've got several of these, and we want to put together packages of 70 and challenge a Pathfinder club somewhere in Florida, several Pathfinder clubs, to take 70 of these or 70 New Testaments from the Bible, 70 of something, and challenge your Pathfinders in this year to celebrate 70 years, to say, we want to pass this message along. We want other people to know. Can you imagine 70 homes around your Pathfinder club sitting down and turning on the DVD player and watching the story of Jesus through the eyes of children, or inviting them to come to your church to watch it as a group in an outdoor screen setting? You can be creative. We want you to think about, what does 70 years of Pathfinder ministry mean and look like, and how can we celebrate that? So you'll hear more about 70 years as we move along, but those are two challenges that I'd like to give to you today, to just say, what if you gave your kids a challenge? What can we do to celebrate 70 years? What could we give away? What could we buy and give to our neighbors? Maybe the church has evangelism money. You don't even have to spend Pathfinder money to get it. Talk to your pastor, dream, and say, what could we do to help other people hear about Jesus and let them know that they are loved, just like we enjoy knowing that we are loved. All right. At this time, I want to open up the floor. If there's anything that anyone who's on today, a question? Yes, Jose.
Can you clarify, it is 70 years anniversary of Pathfindering in Florida?
Yes, thank you. 70 years of Pathfinder ministry in Florida Conference. General Conference will celebrate 72 years of Pathfinder ministry in existence. So this is Florida Conference, 70 years of Pathfinder ministry in 2022. Thank you, Jose. So as we wrap up, is there anything that you want us to hear that you think would be good for us to hear, or maybe something that we might not want to hear, but it's good for us to hear anyway? We're okay with that, but we want to give you a chance, kind of as we wrap up here, to say, here's what's been on my mind, here's what I would like, what about this? Have you thought about that? Whatever you've been thinking about, this is us saying we are all ears, meaning we want to listen to everything you have to say about helping us to help you be as successful as possible as club ministry leaders. So the floor is open.
I just want to say something right quick in reference to what you said earlier on the impact of Pathfinders in the community. About 10 years ago, Javier and myself went to a festival at a church in Lake Placid, which is past Sebring. It is the farthest city for the central area. And the pastor there said, there's a festival this afternoon. I'd like to invite the Pathfinders in your Class A's to come, and we can give out literature and all that. We go, okay, sure. So we went. After about an hour or so, there's a golf cart in back of us with two police officers. And they go, beep, 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 and start calling, hey, you guys, you uniform. And Javier tells me, oh, Jose, something happened. one of the Pathfinders either painted something or broke something, you know. So finally we get up to him and he goes, "Come here, get closer, please." And he starts pointing at our sash. And the policeman says, "Wow, look at that. The dog honor has never changed. Oh, this is the cat honor. Oh, this is the tree honor." And he started name, and the other officer tells him, "What are you talking about?" So then he tells us, "You Pathfinders, right?" He goes, "Yes, sir." And he put his head down and go, "Wow, I remember those days when I was 10 years old. I wanted to be a Boy Scout. And my mom said, I would not allow you to be a Boy Scout. So find something else, but not Boy Scout." And then I saw these people marching and I asked them, "What are you?" "Pathfinders. We're Seventh-day Adventists." Went back to his mom and the mother said, "I will allow you to go and be with them as long as you never get baptized in that church and don't believe what they believe, but you can be a Pathfinder the rest of your life." And he said, "I became a Pathfinder." He went all the way to guide. But of course, he said, "My mom never allowed me to get baptized, so I never was an Adventist, but I always carried Pathfinder in me." So a good impact that we Pathfinders can have in the community.
Isn't that awesome? Thank you for that story. I hadn't heard that yet. Very nice. Man, Adventure or the Shores Hope Springs Church is sending you love. They like that story. Very nice. Thank you for that. Okay, anything else from those of our leaders who are on? Something that we haven't covered, a question you might have, a comment you want to share?
I joined late, so I'm not sure if we covered the skill events for Red Zone.
In a very general way, we were told that skill events will be the same as they have been in the past for PSEs for Red Zone. Is there anything to add?
No, just to look for the booklets so that they will have all the information with the rules and the instructions. That's ready for you.
Thank you, Deidre.
And to remember to study, because it's not a learning event. It's a, you should know it by now, we're going to test you event.
We're not teaching the honor or the Bible there. They have to come ready to do it.
Yeah. Well said. Okay, one last invitation to speak, to share something. You can type it in the chat if you want to.
I have a question for Willie.
Just that we are looking for some help in the north area. I think we have one cluster open in the north, so we are looking for help for a cluster coordinator in the north area.
Yes, thank you.
Willie, are you the director at Palm Coast?
Yes, I currently am, correct.
Oh, because we saw Carol, I think.
Carol registered us, I guess, but she was supposed to register me. I'm having problems logging into the YMS system, so I'll reach out to you guys this week. So.
Oops, my bad. Didn't mean to bring that up. My bad.
That's all.
All right, we'll fix it.
Okay.
It's a reoccurring thing.
Yeah, we gotta get you guys some help.
A question for Willie. Willie, we are hoping and praying that you guys are planning, start making plan to come to the Reveille that we're gonna be having up there in the E-Tracker Reveille. That will be there in February.
Yes.
18 to 28, right?
Yes, we plan on going.
Okay, thank you, man. And likewise for all the other director who are on, Gainesville Spanish and all the other directors who are on.
Very good. Well, thank you to all of our leaders who have taken time to come and be a part of this meeting. We do this every January as a way to kind of touch base, to connect halfway through the club ministries year. I hope and pray that as you jump into this second half of the club season, that you'll talk to God and that your heart and his heart will connect. And that as you realize what it means to be loved, that your heart will fall more and more in love with Jesus. And that as you fall in love with Jesus, Jesus will become more and more precious to you. and that kids will see how much you love Jesus, that will be something that's evident, and that they will want to love Jesus because of the way they see you loving and being loved by Jesus. And so that's part of our prayer as well. Everybody that you see on here today, myself, Stephen, all of our crew of the people that serve, we're here to help you be successful. What we want is to help you have a great club experience. And so if you have an issue with YMMS, if you have an issue with drill, if you have an issue with drum, if you have something that you want to get started with e-trackers or varsity or TLT, if you just need help with something from somewhere, contact us. We're here to serve you. We're here to support you. We want to do all we can to help you. So that's something I hope that you know, and we are a phone call, an email, a text away, and we are ready to do all that we can to support you and cheer you on. We are thankful for you and what you've done. We realize that it's not been an easy season to be involved in club ministries. We recognize that others have said they're done and that their clubs have dropped off. We recognize that there are others who have said, this is too important. This matters too much. Kids matter too much for us to just drop it. That doesn't mean it's been easy, but you've asked God for strength and He's given you strength. And so we thank you for all that you've done. We thank you for all the efforts that you've given. And if you at any point think of any way that we could do something to support you or encourage you, please feel free to reach out to us. We do have our team all around the state that is ready to do stuff. You see the people here who are pack leaders, but you see people also here like Sherry, who serves as the area for adventures for North Florida. She's got one of her cluster coordinators here with Elroy, who was on earlier. So there are people all over the place. It's just something you need to say, hey, I need help with this. We can't read your mind. We don't know what you need if you don't let us know. So please do feel free to let us know anytime. We are here to serve you. Thank you for being a part of this. And unless there's a final comment, Stephen?
We just gonna wave and show them that the three of us are here.
Oh.
We're here.
We're here. Yes, that's true. We are here. So we are glad that we have come together to be with you. I know we're thankful that Carol came to be here in person. Thank you, Calvin, for telling Carol to come see us. And we are glad that we got to be together. Sherry, I know it's last minute notice. If you're at a place where you could pray or would be willing to pray, I don't know. Otherwise, we can do that here, but just wanted to see if that was something that we could do to have you involved here this afternoon.
Yes, I am.
All right, take us to Jesus.
Okay, let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for this wonderful Sabbath day that you have given to us, dear Father, to remind us of you, our Creator. We thank you that we were able to get together as leaders, that we can get insight and information in how we can progress in leading our children and their families, of bringing them to you. I ask you that you will bless each person here on this meeting, bless their family, bless their churches. Help us, Lord, that we'll continue to work for you. Give us the opportunities that we may share your gospel in these times, though it may be difficult. Help us that we will find our way to continue reaching your people and sharing your word. Bless us all, dear Lord, as we work together as one, and as we share ideas, that we will continue to do your will and to be example for your children. Be with those who may be traveling home, dear Lord, I should pray that you will take them to their destination safely. And help us, dear Lord, that as we depart from each other, but never from your presence. For this is my prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Sherry. Appreciate your prayer. Appreciate you. And thank you again to everyone who's here. I'll leave the room open a little bit longer and you can pull those names and numbers down from the chat if you didn't get that information. But officially, thank you again for being here at the North Area Council meeting, 2022, January 8th.
Hey, Jacksonville Spanish, Daryl is